Rezz unexpectedly dominates the adult toy market, while 80s adult movie soundtracks make a surprising comeback, all amidst the buzz of a new Moog Synth teased at the Super Bowl. Then you can imagine a guitar and a Nintendo had a baby, then added a cat. Intriguing? And then we have an forgotten retro drum machine that is reincarnated, making old tech the new black in music production, and a lot more news. So tune in. Most people have a hard time when they want to make a career change, then try to figure out what they could be good at and struggle with the decision. Rezz might have just created a second adult-oriented career by accident. Normally we don't report on the world of adult toys, but Rezz seems to be finding that selling sex toys is something she is really good at. I reported before that she was getting ready for a release of a sex toy early in 2024, and that seems to be a huge success. Just 24 minutes after announcement of the release on her Twitter page, she had sold out all the inventory of her Hypno dildo. The response was probably much larger than she had been expecting, with people screaming with joy like these users. There was so much demand that many more are still interested in purchasing a device. So many people want one that a V2 is in the works, and they have even found physical stores that want to carry the device. People are even wanting different colors and options. This user suggests a whole new line of products. With this kind of built-in audience for your products, Rezz might find herself the head of a very lucrative business she didn't intend to start. Alright, we are going really in adult direction in this week's news. We have a report from a Spin magazine on how soundtracks from adult movies in the 80s are making a strange comeback. I'm not talking about the grunts and groans, but the actual background tracks of music. These soundtracks were not age restricted when released, and just like the lovingly known porn touch that men are starting to bring back fashionable again, these tunes are also starting to become hot items. Josh Cheon, the founder of label Dark Entries, says that the soundtracks are filled with songs that kind of sound like popular artists like the Human League or Pet Shop Boys. Because they are not as well known as these popular records, and most haven't been licensed to bigger labels and protected by copyrights, these songs are able to be sampled more often. They also make for great background music, if you know what I mean. Some albums have even been stated as starting a whole new genre of house music that's available for artists to explore. So if you want to make some hypnotic sensual music, now might be the right time to release it. If you are enjoying the video up to now and we are able to keep you tuning, please hit that like and subscribe button. We are a fresh channel and we do really need your help. Will be appreciated. Moving to toys that make noises that are appropriate for the Super Bowl audience. With a sale late last year to InMusic, which we reported here as well, there were a lot of heavy questions around Moog and how they were going to operate in the future. Since the purchase, they have been quite active, including releasing an AR synth and several software products. This weekend, they teased what is going to be the first new hardware synths developed under the new ownership. Being called the Mirror Ply synth, this beast of a machine was not only used at the Super Bowl, but also teased by fellow YouTuber Andrew Huang. Details have since given a bit more clarity than the close-up and blurry video of one of Usher's band members twinkling in the white keys. We will have to wait for the full details like pricing, but we do know it is an 8-voice polysynth, and Andrew has said we are gonna flip over this. Just make sure when it launches you are on a soft surface and do your stretches, as I don't want to hear about any injuries during your flips. Another item that made people scream at their screen this week trying to figure out what they were looking at, announcement of Swedish maker Low Halton's Thing. Called the Cat, it looks like an 80s guitar had a love child with a Nintendo game controller. The strange looking device not only can be played like a guitar and create the MIDI information that can be used to control software, but also contains the appropriately named NES polysynth. the sounds are more game-oriented as they result in an expressive chiptune. So this futuristic music tool was designed specifically for his musical project Cat Beats. To finish off the cat motif, there is even a removable dome that holds your cat avatar that can be removed and replaced depending on the style of cat you want. There is no word on if this will actually go on sale or just a one-off, but we do like Low Halton's commitment to style for his music project. I think we have touched enough hardware for today now. Roland has a long history of making drum machines that dates all the way back to 1964. And while we all know about the famous 808s and 909 machines that come out in 80s, one of their most innovative devices doesn't get as much publicity. Cheery Audio also has a reputation for digging deep into the past and modeling devices that no one expects. The Compurhythm CR-78 is their first drum machine plugin and is a recreation of the Roland machine that was the first device to allow for programming patterns in the late 1970s. The hardware was used by many synth-pop icons like Tears for Fears, Hall & Oates, Genesis, The Cars, and many more. Cheery decided that they wanted to make some changes, as it was pretty well known that the CR-78 wasn't the easiest device to program. First, just to be cheeky, they have named this the Compurhythm CR-78, but things go deeper than new writing on the front. They've swapped the sequencer with one that more resembles the easier to use 808 style step sequencer and made other tweaks that should make this resemble what artists have become used in regards to programming and playing. Some of the original feels and variations are there, so you can get that retro sound, and now you can edit each voice independently as well as solo and mute them, something the old device couldn't do. They have also added an effects section and made it so you can export your creation as MIDI into your DAW. Since there were only 2,000 copies of the original hardware that were ever made, I can imagine that this recreation may see more use than the original ever did. If you are like me, coming up with new ideas for songs can be frustrating at times. Soundghosts has released a new plugin that hopes to help make that task more fun by generating random chops of audio. Jumble is described as a randomized sample explorer that takes any loop and syncs it with any tempo, and from there the creative work starts. The play position then starts at random points and creates new variations of the loop in what are supposed to be creative and interesting ways. There are controls to help sculpt these variations with two LFOs, state variable filters, and gates that also have MIDI inputs. So if you are wanting to recreate a pattern that Jumble suggests, you can then play it like any other sampler. Jumble is also targeted at those artists that want to have a more generative feel to their music, because the device's random features will keep changing over time, meaning you can start a track and let it play for several minutes with it continuing to evolve forever and ever and ever and ever. As the song says, the best stuff in life is free. So here is some free gifts from developers that were released this week and will be worth your time. First up is a new multi-effects plugin that is targeted at making your drum sound lit. Refire by Outside Boogie. Oh, that's not right. Out of Body. Again with the names, guys. Okay, Auto Boogie.
One eternity later.
Auto Boogie is fine, I think. Well, the plugin has 5 effects settings: bang, heat, sub, detail, and clamp, with very simple controls that is aimed to make Ableton's drum bass plugin sweat. I do like the dark design here, and with the settings like heat and bang, they have definitely got the look right. From loud drums to something a bit softer, Sample Instrument Maker Quiet Music has released a new sampled instrument that will appeal to any musician that thinks plugins need to look more busy. SYNTHS is a toy piano that samples. Oh, who really cares about these samples? This is all about how this thing looks. They have crammed every possible neon retro looking thing they could onto the plugin, and that piano is so funny looking, it has to sound weird, right? There is a free light version, so go see if you can handle the eye-searing colors on this one for yourself. If you don't like to cram every possible things into your music and prefer to keep things more open feeling, Reflex Acoustic has a free dynamic range meter that is now available. With the loudness wars constantly raging, we commend them for helping musicians to keep dynamics in their music by giving you all the necessary tools to monitor your tracks and keep them feeling unsquashed. I think that's it. You get multiple colors to show you peaks in green and high dynamic parts in blue, low dynamic parts in pink, and troublesome areas in red. Gloves are also shown, and you can monitor both the total sound and frequency bands individually or mid-side readouts to find out exactly where and how you need to adjust your project to make your track more dynamic than Batman and Robin, the original dynamic deal. A couple of weeks ago, we told you about the cute fat cat that was going to saturate your vocals by plugin maker Moog Samples. They have decided that their fat cat was getting lonely and needed a new cute buddy to play with. So they have now released a just as cute but less cuddly pixel rabbit. A bit crusher meant to flatten the edges of your sound, and it will give you that lovely, doughy, cuddly, woodly feeling as you apply the effects just like the cat did. Looks like Moog Samples is definitely committed to this look. So what do you think they release next? A baby bird? Put your guesses in the comments below. Whatever it is, we are hoping they complete the set. Ben Jordan is a musician who has been making music for more than 20 years professionally. So when he says something about music software, people tend to listen. Last week, he declared that Cakewalk was the best free DAW available after testing out several different DAWs that have free versions. His video explaining his decision gave valuable information on why Cakewalk came out the winner, with its powerful interface and host of features that really made it a full DAW experience. Stop the press. While in the middle of editing the video, the makers of Cakewalk BandLab announced the intention to discontinue the free Cakewalk and launch a subscription-based Cakewalk NXT. This is way too close to NFT. If you really want to make free music, Ben says using Cakewalk was the first time he felt like a musician using free tools. So you should grab a copy soon before Cakewalk NXT is ready for launch, which is currently not announced as a launch date. Go get your free creative juices flowing now before it is too late. Once you have made your chart-topping hit with all your free plugins, going on tour to support your track is about to cost you a bit more. The US has announced that the application fees for foreign musicians is increasing by more than $500 per application starting in April. This is the first increase in fees since 2016, and before the numbers were released, it was expected that fees could be increased by 2 times as much as what was announced. Okay, 500 is already a lot. What they were supposed to do? Billion? So what is next? DJ wars between the countries? Alright, so while it is going to be more expensive to do your world tour this summer, it is less expensive than it could have been apparently. If staying closer to home for your DJ career is your thing, you may have a new old option available soon. Last year, we had the announcement that UK club venue Printworks was closing down, and it was met with great sadness as the iconic space had hosted epic events like From Afterlife, Above and Beyond, Anjuna, and so on. It was expected that the space would be developed into office buildings and living spaces, but things have taken an unexpected twist. The ownership group and developer have submitted a new plan that includes reopening the 6,000 person venue and reviving the property as a go-to nightlife experience once again. The main parts of the club that give it the immersive feeling of being in an industrial park, including the press hall and famous inkwells, haven't been touched. A new roof is planned, and some updates to the sound systems and cleaning up some of the older features are in the plan. Related to Printworks announcement, a new study published by the Nighttime Industries Associations in the UK has us thinking the Printworks proposal should be an easy approval. The report says that recording revenue for electronic music last year increased by 16% from 2022 to 23. Also on plus sides, 30% of all artists playing at festivals were considered electronic artists. Yay! I'm an artist now! Whoop, whoop. Dance music is more popular and profitable than ever, and yet clubbing is not. The amount of people hitting the clubs on Friday and Saturday nights dropped by 9%, and economic revenue from clubs was down 6 in total. On top of that, 40% of all the clubs in the UK shut their doors. The report suggests that the UK needs to ease regulations on clubs and encourage community engagement by taking steps to stop redevelopment of clubs like Printworks. The opening of the Printworks owner's new drum sheds was a great step in the right direction, but bringing back the OG location would be seen as moving even more towards supporting clubbing culture. UK Parliament, I invite you to go dancing with all of us and re-establish the UK as a world-renowned club destination again. So make UK rave again. I don't know, Germans are taking over. Just saying. If more natural settings are your thing, a cave in Tennessee has announced new techno events you can attend. Sara Landy is known as the high priestess of hard techno. Wait, if she is the high priestess, can I apply for the priestesshood in the techno church? Where are sign-ups? Gimme. Landy is set to perform in the Caverns, a 1,200-person cave system in Grundy County, Tennessee. Don't worry if you don't know where that is. Most Americans don't know either. Trust me, try and ask them. The underground venue has hosted other musical styles, but this will be the first techno-specific event and will be a solo show, with Sara performing a shorter open-to-close 2 nights event on June 28 and 29. Go say your techno blessings as tickets are on sale now. Praise to the techno goddesses for giving us such a gift. If your bedtime is starting to creep earlier and earlier and waking up after those 8 hours of spectacular dreams is more your speed, we have a new event for you. I have no idea to read this, but here we go. Stuart O'Gilley, a 45-year-old South Wales artist, is planning a new series of events targeted directly at the over 30s crowd. That is me. The demand for the events was so massive, a 700-person planned event with 3 rooms of music and full club experience that starts and ends at a sensible hour, sold out in 12 hours. The event starts at 2 in the afternoon and ends at 8 p.m. and includes no phone policy on the dance floor. Although based on the target market, I don't think those flip phones the audience has will be much use in taking pictures. Fresh off his Grammy win, Skrillex did more work on Instagram than most of us do in a year. In the early morning hours of Monday, he posted 30+ stories to his Instagram that played all unreleased tracks and videos taken off performances. I think I post like 3 stories every week, so to post 30 stories in just a couple of hours is an insane amount of content. Word is that this is leading up to a new album of previously unreleased music that he has been playing, including some tracks that date all the way back to 2012. We will have to wait and see, and there is no official announcement from him. And this all could have just been him drunk dialing us after the Grammy parties. Sony, please don't ghost us on this one. I like getting your messages at 2 a.m. on a Sunday night. More and more scientific studies are showing the benefits of music on all kinds of things, like memory, motor skills, speech therapy, and even healing. Now there is even more reasons for you to hit the clubs and dance your night away, as researchers have found that 80% of club goers report that it helps people deal with emotional and mental health in positive ways. I really can't say I am surprised, as music has and will always be my way of keeping a great perspective on life. I'm glad that science agrees with all of us club goers, and there is final data supporting that we know, which is dancing to electronic music truly is life-changing. So keep creating new music and join me next week to keep you tuned into what's going on in music news and production.